Right, team. Hey, Chuck with Traders War Room. And of course, we're back at you with the Town Hall guys, bringing you the best trading platform. And today we're going to talk about the Options Club. More information on products and services we provide, you can always go there, but we're talking about specifically something completely separate than our normal trading platform. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. And guys, just so you all know, I do got to say hello to a special guest. I have my retired sergeant major that was beating me up as a young soldier in the group today. So I hope my info brief is above par so that I don't get beat up after this meeting. All right, agenda for today. We're going to go over a general description of what the Trading Options Club is all about. We're going to go over concept of operations. We're going to go specifics of the operation. We're going to go rules to govern. We're going to talk about legal documentation. And then we're going to have a conclusion and contact information with also question and answering period if wanted. This also is being recorded. And I do need to state that this is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. This is all for entertainment and education purposes. And the end goal is to have fun, create a group of like-minded individuals, and go out there and hopefully make some money in the stock market. General description. Traders War Room and the Option Club is a venture to trade the stock market as a group outside of the normal TWR platforms. It is open to anyone who is interested, regardless of being a TWR platform member. So tell a friend and tell a coworker. We will be the talk, which is the TWR Options Club, will be run in rounds. These rounds consist within calendar months. And I got more details on that later in the presentation. Each member who decides to join a round comes in with an equal buy-in to include TWR staff. We're not exempt from this at all. TWR is one entity. So if we're in the round, which we will be because we're running it, obviously, we are in the round as well, just like everyone else. At the end of each round, the profit and loss will be evenly distributed among members who have bought in. Once buy-in date has passed, those not invested will be closed from any updates specific to that round of investing. You do not need to buy into each round to gain information on future rounds. Concept of operations. Each member will be required to read, agree, sign, and submit a terms of condition document before being allowed into the rounds. Each member will be required to buy into each round no later than 1 day prior to the start of next round for each month via TWR's business PayPal via a specific invoice that we'll create per round for documentation and tax purposes. Liquidation of account and disbursement of funds will be done the last trading Friday of each month. Weekly updates of TWR Options Club account will be posted in the club's private chat group just for members who purchase entry into that specific round. Rounds will start on the first day of each month. A separate TWR trading account will be used only for this club's purpose. TWR staff will be responsible for trading the combined funds for the entirety of the month. Only one TWR trader will be allowed to trade during the rounds. An example on that one. So if I take the first round, which will begin October 1st, I am the only TWR staff member that will be trading that round. And this will also be outlined in the updates for the next round, who's going to cover it. So if Shiner decides he's going to cover it next round, then we will post that. So, nothing against anyone. If people are like, you know what, I don't know Shiner, I don't want to trade this round because I don't know his style, so be it. Each of you should know how we trade at this particular time anyways, but it's no harm, no foul on that one. It's to each their own. This is supposed to be fun. This is also supposed to be something that kind of links us together in a like-minded environment. Once round begins, no pulling of funds until disbursement at the end of the round. This one's an important one, and this will be highlighted in the legal documentation. So example, you come in and you buy into October, but I don't know, you see the market kind of dumping or something, and you get a bad feeling about the market going into November. 15 October comes around and you're like, you know what, I don't want to do this. Hey, just liquidate my funds right then. That won't be allowed because we're all pooled in there together. Regardless, every round is going to be bought in at the first and liquidated the last trading Friday of each month. And all of the profit and loss is going to be distributed evenly. Hopefully more profit than loss, but this is the market. And so there are risks associated with this. Every member will pay the same amount and all profit and loss will be distributed equally. This includes TWR as a business. So a portion of the funds collectively will be held back for taxes. As pulling the funds each month from the account will incur interest rates associated with trading. Now we are waiting on our tax attorney to get back with us on the official amount that we should be keeping. We're not going to keep a high level of it. Whatever our internal TWR tax attorney guy tells us is the appropriate amount, that's what we're going to go for. Also, this guy, and I explained this later in the brief, our internal TWR taxman, he is available for members of TWR as well to ask questions and concerns, especially when it relates to individual investing and the tax season. So we do have that available, and he's free of charge for simple question answering. If you need more in depth, he does do signups, and he is a legit tax attorney, so he's good to go. Each individual will be responsible for individual taxes on their profits and losses. TWR does have that internal tax man, like I was telling you about, and this is available for question and answers if desired. And I will provide that information to everyone who's part of the group. Once buy-in is established for initial round, no raising of the buy-in will be allowed unless members agree to a 2/3 vote for a raise in the buy-in on future rounds. So October, once we establish the buy-in, which I have the initial buy-in for this particular round, that stays. And in order to raise it, the members who are interested in the TWR Options Club, we have to have a 2/3 vote to raise the next buy-in in the future. So if we wanted to push it to say 500 because we had a great move, and we're like, yes, let's try to make a little bit more capital, we got to have a 2/3 vote of a yes. Otherwise,
and where?
Oh,
like one of those front ones.
babe.
I mean,
Cat, tell mama I have her phone.
All right. Sorry about that. Oops. Go back. All right, here we go. All right. So, all right, we answered that one. Here we go. All right, specifics of the operation. Round one. This will start October 1st of 2022. Buy-in for round one includes payment and terms of conditions signed is the last trading Friday of the previous month. And that is wrong. So I didn't mess up. So Sergeant Major, get me on that one. It's going to be the last trading day of the month. So that would be 30 September, not the last Friday. Disbursement for round one funds will be pushed 28 October, which is the last Friday of the month. Buy-in for round two will be no later than the first day before the beginning of the month, which would be 30 October. This includes the terms and conditions signed for the new entry members. Now, once you sign the document, we'll have a date that the document is good for. So be it 6 months or maybe a quarter, 3 months. New members would have to sign a new document that would have the same date. And then at the expiration of that date, all members that want to continue would have to re-sign the documentation, but new members would have to come in and sign the documentation before we would accept any type of funds or entry into the club. Reminder will be pushed 1 week in advance and 24 hours before the cutoff. The books are closed for new members buying in after the buy-in date. They'll have to wait till next round. Initial buy-in for round one, we talked with a whole bunch of people and it was determined that $200 sounded decent and was a relatively small amount considering for an initial buy-in on this one. So that will be the initial buy-in will be $200 per member for this to try it out. And as example, October 1st, we'll start the trading session, and then the funds will be liquidated that last Friday of the trading session and dispersed on the 28th October. And that's how we're going to run it for each consecutive month moving forward to keep some sort of predictability and some sort of buffer zone between distribution of funds and the next buy-in, because we did originally we had it the last day before the next month, but we figured that would be too maybe quick firing on an administrative side to process all the payments and also, receive the documentation and file them. So we want to have a little bit of a buffer so that we can continue some administrative stuff to keep everything legit. So here's a 6-month plan. So example, round 1, buy-in is 30 September. Distribution of funds would be 28 October. So on and so forth. Round 2, buy-in would be 31 October with the distro of funds on 25 November. And as you can see, the pattern is it's going to be the buy-in will be the day before the next start of the month for the round. And then the distribution of funds is that last Friday trading session of that current month. So specifics of operation continuing, each round will specify which TWR staff will cover that round when the reminder is pushed out on that week. That'll be, the weekly reminder, hey, we're going to buy-in is open for this particular round. Cutoff is this date. This month will be covered by Spartan, so on and so forth. Specific strategy for trading will be outlined in terms and conditions for each round. Now, this is going to include the type of, it won't be specific to like, we're only going to trade SPY or we're only going to trade Apple, but we want to really highlight some trades. So it's not just we're going in with lotto trades. We have a specific plan in mind, a specific strategy that deals with moving averages and multiple time frames and high volume, high liquid and large to mega cap stocks that actually have fundamentally sound analysis associated with them. If you buy into October and decide you don't want to do November, that is fine. You just won't be allowed into the private group for those invested in that round. That goes on for other months as well. So you buy into November and December comes around, it's Christmas. You're like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's perfectly fine. No issues. You can still be part of the member group to get the information stuff. Just when it comes to the specific group being started up, you will not get the updates and stuff on the account. Payment processing for TWR Options Club will be PayPal. So members that want to enjoy into this group will have to have PayPal. And the reason for this is because we have an official PayPal business. They also have a fantastic invoicing system, which not only keeps everything legit for us legally, but also keeps you, the member, protected as well, so that everything can be documented on an official invoice and it can all be above board and there's no issues or complaints on what it is you're purchasing and what it is that you're getting provided. We will be using options trading in this club. Trade tickers will be large to mega cap stocks. Trade tickers will be those with over 10 million average daily volume. Most trades will be swing trades, but will utilize day trades if probability of successful trade is high and or in question with a swing. The reason we thought most of them would end up being swings is because we didn't think that we would end up having a collection of above 25,000 to get away from the pattern day trading rules. And so we want to ensure that the stuff that we're getting into is good quality stocks that have a high success rate of being profitable in the end. But like we said, on today, example, if we were trading something today and you see the cascading effect coming down due to quad witching in the midterm, there's not a reason to continue a trade to swing over the weekend. If you're making a decent amount of money on some puts, go ahead and we'll use one of those day trades. And then, we just make sure that we keep our day trades within lines of the SEC's regulation. The club will not use lotto trades. I say again, the club will not use lotto trades or those seen as purely speculative in nature. We're not going to do it, guys. We're not going to do it. These are, like we stated, these are going to be mega cap to large cap stocks that fundamentally are sound. They also are trading with high volume. They're high liquid stocks, all the ones that we normally love to trade and we trust. Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, SPY, Q, those type of stocks. That's what we're going to be trading. None of these PLTR, we're not going to go in there and trade Bed Bath and Beyond, AMC. Not going to do it. Okay, just too volatile. Then they don't have the fundamentals to be successful long term. Each trade will be cross-referenced off the chart. Technical analysis will be done, news catalysts, and other publicly available means to provide the best probability for success. So we're not just going to willy-nilly get into a trade. They're going to be cross-referenced. Updates will go to the chat group once the members are involved in this, and we'll send the idea and the understanding and rationale for each trade. And as we know, the market is unpredictable. So we're expecting that some trades will not do as well as other ones, but we will have specific guidelines for cutting losses as well. And we'll stick to the rules that we outline inside of the terms and agreement documentation. So rules to govern this group. Each member must sign and agree to the terms to be part of the club rounds. Each member pays equal amount to the buy-in. Each member receives equal amount of disbursement of profit and loss after taxes are held for account use. Each round is 1 calendar month. No pulling out of funds once round starts. Once round starts, no new members are able to buy in on that particular round. No hate speech, belittling, derogatory terms due to trading. We understand that this is risky and each member assumes the risk of trading and investing. Even though we will be covering the trading, it's still assumed that what we're doing is risky business, and we zero hate speech, belittling, derogatory remarks. If we get that, from people, we'll just, you won't be welcome back into the group. Legal documentation. Each member will be required to read, agree, and sign a legal documentation for entrance into the rounds. Document will be filed and will have an expiration date on it. New members must have a signed terms of agreement on file before they are allowed into the club rounds. Once expiration date is met, a new legal documentation must be signed by each member. Legal documentation will cover concept of operation, strategy used, buy-in, and disbursement no later than date, and rules for governing the options club. Conclusion and contact. This is a new venture for TWR, and we're extremely excited to be able to provide this after, almost a year. Actually, in October is our year birthday. So we're excited to provide this and think we'll have a lot of fun doing it. This is meant to be fun and a way to engage with like-minded individuals. Members do not need to be part of TWR platforms to engage in the group. Like we talked about earlier, tell a friend, tell a coworker if they're interested. Please, I would be glad to filter any type of questions directly. You can always schedule a conference call with me and you, and we can talk to your friend, and I can give them the 411, let them know I'm a real person, and if they're interested, no high sales pressure. If they're interested, great. If they're not, they're not. I'm going to have fun and take care of business no matter what. We plan to evolve this over time and constantly improve our foxhole. And if none of you know, I'm an Army guy, okay? So if you hear some Army type of jargon, I'm sure you guys kind of understand that those that follow me, let's go to war, let's get our battle kit ready, okay? So, you hear some Army jargon in foxhole, you're like, what does that mean? Basically, we're going to make sure we're improving our house, okay? We're going to constantly try to strive for greatness and, get feedback from the members and constantly try to evolve this into being a fantastic program. We already think it's going to be a successful and fantastic program. We just want it to consistently get better. We hope, I'm almost speaking in front of what I'm putting out. So we hope this be a successful venture that makes us all money and provides exposure to TWR products and services to others outside of the current platform. Those interested in the Option Club and want to be part of it, please, contact us formally via our business email, traderswarroom@gmail.com. And in the subject, please put TWR Options Club so that our secretary can field those out from the other emails that we get. We get about 1,000 emails a day since the business is extremely successful. So we want to be able to filter out the Options Club specific, and what you will receive from us, Traders War Room, is you're going to receive a reply back with the legal documentation, the specific rules again, and outline a welcome message, and then it's on you. The ball's in your hand at that point. If you want to continue, great. Follow the process, and we'll make the payment through PayPal, and we'll process everything on our end, make it all legal, nice and tight, file it, And then if you just are here for information purposes, thank you again for allowing me to talk and come on into your ear, at least to drop something about Traders War Room. Everything legal will be handled through formal email correspondence for the members' protection and TWR LLC. We want everything above board on this thing. We want a digital correspondence of everything so that there's no ifs, ands, or buts. It protects you, it protects us. We want to make sure that this thing is all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted. At this time, questions. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on my video so you can see me, know that I'm a real person. How's it going, people? If you got questions, please come on the mic. And I just ask that one question at a time from one person.
Chuck, I have a question.
Yes, please.
All right. So when it comes to taxes, that will be taken out up front. So we won't receive like a 1099 or anything at the end of the year, right?
Yeah, not from us. Not from us. That'll be the individual will be responsible for that. So when you get your payment distributed to you via the TWR payment invoice through PayPal, that invoice will be pretty much your receipt of this. Now you won't have to necessarily pay any stock market property gains or taxes on that. That's one of the reasons why we will cover that once we get back with our tax attorney for the stock market taxes associated with the account. You'll be basically just receiving additional income. And I have, like I said, we have Jake, who's our TWR in-house accountant, and I'm going to get with him so that he can open himself up availability for questions and answerings on more specific tax related measures, because I am not a tax attorney, but I do know that we will provide the taxes associated with the investing account that is on Traders War Room. You guys will have to provide additional funds made, because when we file taxes, we're going to show receipts of every transaction that's happened.
Makes sense. Thank you. And my last question is, do you have a specific goal that you're trying to run it up to?
A goal, not a goal at this time. I guess, to just be frank, the goal will be to profit as much as possible within each round.
All right, thank you.
Hey, Chuck. How's it going, brother?
Hey, what's up, T-Law?
Yeah, man. What's going on? Hey, I got a couple questions too myself.
All right.
You're gonna send out alerts on that, right?
Yeah, so inside of the Telegram is what we're going to use. We wanted to use Messenger. However, there was privacy settings that unless we were like friends or friends of friends, which we have a lot of people that are, from all over the country, there were some privacy settings that didn't allow us to have a smooth transition of flow of information. So Telegram seems to be a pretty universal platform, and the information, the updates will go through Telegram to the private chat that's associated with each member in the particular rounds.
And so also, what about rolling the money over?
Well, no rolling the money. Everything will be liquidated on the last trade Friday, and it'll be dispersed out evenly. No rolling funds. You can roll your own funds back into it,
Right.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what I mean.
we're going to
Close out.
we're going to liquidate everything and disperse funds associated with the account, and then the buy-in. That's why there's that little break between liquidation of funds and the buy-in to the next round. We will, if you get your money and you want to invest it back in, great, but you got to come back and reinvest in it. There's no like, hey Chuck, T-Law here, hey, just go ahead and keep my money, bro. Nope, you're going to get your money and then you come back. We want everything documented. Everything got to be above board.
Okay, so then if that's the case, then there's no rolling over. I just lost my train of thought. Sorry, my brother. I get it back. The buy-in, is it going to change monthly, or is it going to just be the same as it starts right now?
No. So we talked about that in the beginning of it. In order to change, so the initial buy-in is set at 200.
200.
In order to change it, we have to put it up for a vote with all the members on board, whether an investor or not. We got to put it up with all the members on board, 2/3 vote.
No spreads, just straight puts and calls.
Yeah, puts and calls, just straight options. If we were to add say covered calls or spreads or some other more aggressive means of trading, we would then add that into the terms and agreement for that particular round, and then that would be pushed out. But at this time, it's just going to be straight puts and calls.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. Ernest, go ahead, unmute yourself. You're on the mic.
Hey man, I just had a question about when we do the rounds, like say the rounds are 200, are members only allowed to put that 200 in, or say if we wanted to double or triple up, that we do that, or just a 200?
200. Each person goes
Alright,
in with the same
cool.
amount, and all the funds are liquidated and dispersed evenly.
Cool, appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. David, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry about that. So that was gonna be my question, because I know like on PayPal, if you get over a certain amount, I feel like you get a issue with like the payments. I just had a business thing I did with PayPal, and it was like a couple $1,000, and it was like a problem. So you're saying that won't even be an issue because you can only do that 200. That's it. Like you
I'm
can't
sorry.
do.
Could you
So
could you reword that?
Yeah. So I like say if I wanted to put like 2,000, I can't put 2,000. I can only put 200.
Yes, every member puts the same amount in, and every member gets all the funds distributed evenly. It's just one of the things, because you would put two. Your situation might be different than Miss Price's or Cedric's, but everybody's going to come in with an equal buy-in amount, and everyone gets equal distribution of both profit and losses.
Okay.
Yep. I understand what you're saying. It's especially if it gets successful, we're gonna have people going, hey, but unfortunately we're not licensed financial advisors, and that would kind of go into the legalities of taking funds for financial gain. We're just trying to have a club and have fun.
Well, you can put it under
Understood.
your mama, sister, brothers.
Right,
cousins.
exactly. You gotta get like family members.
Well, and I understand that, but we do, unfortunately, as long as your mother and your brother and your sister all sign a document, then that would be good to go, and they all have a separate payment that comes into, so that our secretary can file them and we can have the invoices separate. So be it. But 200 would be the buy-in equally for everybody that's involved.
Understood. Thank you so much.
No problem. Miss Price, how's it
Oh,
going?
when does it start? When does it start again? I'm sorry.
We're going to start
This round?
we're going to start this round in October, and the payment and the legal documentation is going to be due on 30 September.
All right. So that's gonna that we'll be notified of that in this Telegram channel. I'll just join. Correct.
Yes. Yep. We're going to
Oh,
push all that
awesome.
out. But just like we said previously, I'm going to put this. This is going on YouTube as well, and I'm going to put specific highlighting things of, basically here's the video and here's the cliff notes. This is what you need to do in order to buy in. Just like the previous slide just stated right here. If those that are interested, they have to contact us formally. So we have a legal correspondence of interest.
For some reason, I can't see the slides. So I'm like,
can't-
man, that's the thing. I only see my screen is black, and it could be I'm at work, so it could be my reception.
Okay. Well, yeah. So are other people able to see the slides? David, are you able to, or Miss
I'm
Price?
able to see it. I'm
You're
able
able
to,
to?
but I'm
Okay.
on my laptop.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't doing a blank presentation.
We would have told you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Yeah, so basically, it'll be, and when I push this information out, I'm going to have part of this as a specific, but we need a formal correspondence that you're interested through our business email, traderswarroom@gmail.com, and then our secretary is going to respond to those interested with our documentation and the rules that need to be returned back to us with signature and everything like that. But I'll make sure when I post the updates, I will put that in there as a highlight, since you were unable to see the the presentation, but I will also put this on YouTube, so you can always go back and review it as well.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, I stepped outside. I still can't see it, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on there, but I appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. Ms. Price.
I think you probably answered it, but if my husband wanted to do this also, he would have to get his own PayPal account. He couldn't just put it into mine and we just pay it. I mean, I guess it wouldn't matter, would it? What account the money came out of?
So that wouldn't matter as long as it was two separate invoices.
Okay, I
Yeah.
got it.
So
So he could still use my PayPal account. He wouldn't
yes,
have to get.
Yep, but it would need to be two separate invoices, and we would need the documentation for him signed. It couldn't just be you. We would need one from you and then one from him for two separate people.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Anyone else? Sergeant Major, how did my presentation go? Go ahead, Miss. Is it Miss or Mr.? I can't tell by the first name, but Keenez, you're good to go.
Yes.
Going
So
well, Chuck.
Thank you, Sergeant Major. How's it going, ma'am?
yeah. So my question is, I just heard the answer about PayPal. So, what's the minimum age for someone to invest? Because I know PayPal's minimum age is 18. Is there a minimum age for this?
That's a good question. I will have to get with my business attorney, but I'm under the impression that 18 is the legal age for investing underneath SEC regulations.
Okay.
Yep.
I know with Fidelity, you can make a child's account,
Well,
but it has to be under.
you have to run it though, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. You can make accounts. My kids have accounts as well, but I know my two oldest boys, they weren't able to legally trade until they were 18 of age.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. Any other questions? All right, guys. Well,
So you're gonna push out the link to the YouTube part within this chat, right? This group.
yeah. Well, and I'm also going to push out it on all the platforms as well, so that anyone that missed it can see it as well. And I'm going to put out. It'll be here's the video, and then I'm going to have the specific rules to, if people are interested, they need to contact traderswarroom@gmail.com with the subject of the Options Club, and they will get the response from us officially, and all the documentation will come along with that as well.
And how soon can we do that sign up, brother?
I plan on as soon as after today, I'll probably start working on it tomorrow, because I'm going to push it out today, and then I'm going to watch a movie with my kids. We killed the market this week, so I'm going to enjoy some fruits of our labor today. And then I'm going to start business, start receiving, contacts and stuff like that when they come in. So, you know how I usually operate I like to get responses within 24 hours. So as soon as they start coming in, I'm going to start processing emails.
And I know you probably said, do I need to wait for you to call me?
No, go ahead, ma'am.
I know you said, I just want to be sure. So you said that y'all going to take taxes out. So what we get will just be income.
Yeah, so we're going to take the taxes out. We still our tax attorney guy, Jake, he wasn't able to get back with that answer right away. He wanted to do some research on it. He said typically between 15% and 25% is normally the thing for business accounts that are pooling funds and dealing with tax accounts. However, he's going to get us a specific amount that we have, and then that whatever that is the low end of it that we should have. We're going to trust our tax attorney guy, and that'll be the one that we push out in the legal documentation.
I just want to be sure. I want to talk to my mom, and taxes are something she really, really wants to be specific on. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and we do too as well, and which is one of the reasons why before we push out the document, like T-Law was just saying, I'm going to field questions, but until I have our answer from our tax attorney guy, we won't be pushing out the documentation. I expect to hear back from him later tonight or tomorrow, and then we'll start pushing out the official terms and agreements for people to review, read, and sign and return back to us. Mr. John, how's it going?
Hey Chuck, yeah, we're good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. A lot better than when we did the town hall over Discord, huh?
Yeah, my internet's still kind of sketchy. Yeah, but no, it's good. No,
Right.
it's gonna be fun. But one of my biggest concerns is this just not too big a pain and turns into a big pain for y'all. Trying to keep up with it doesn't eat up a lot of time. I was wondering how many people you're going to take. And
Yeah.
that's going to be, if it gets popular, it's going to be, it'll turn into more than what you can do probably.
Yeah. Well, and that's something, like I said, we'll evolve that as we go. You know, I'll be honest with you, we got about 40 people into the group now. 28 are on the mic right now. So, you know, there's a lot of interest, but I expect some of the interest not to actually go through with it each round, just
Yeah, no doubt.
because it's a liability. You know, they're just being cautious, and we understand that. And so, and like I said, it's not high pressure sales. We're just trying to have fun. But you're absolutely correct. If it becomes something big and huge, we may have to put someone on staff that deals specifically with this only.
Right. I don't know about the legality.
Which is a good problem to have.
Right. Yeah. Then you'd have to have some kind of administration fees or whatever, which would be cool with a lot of us. But but I don't know how. The main thing is you keep straight with the SEC and don't get in trouble. I've been involved with some groups before that gotten in deep with them, and even if you're not doing anything wrong, they can tie you up and cause you a lot of misery.
Yep. And that would be something that we'll look into. I don't think I'll be honest with you, I don't think we're at that point now, but if we ever get to that point, that'll be definitely something we'll pull Jake in with, and we will field those questions at that time, because we want to make sure that everything's legit and everyone's above board. And you know, if we get too big and we can't do it anymore because we're too popular, then you know, unfortunately we'll have to close the door.
Right. Well, cool. Yeah, I look forward to it. It's gonna be fun.
No problem, man.
All right, bud.
Ms. Price, do you have a question again? Your hands or
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't take it down.
oh, no problem. I got it. Oops. Okay, I got some questions in the chat group. Custodial, sorry, joined late. I know with PayPal, the only send an invoice to the IRS if you are owner of 2,000 transactions a calendar year, over 100. Yeah, so the invoice that we're going to send is associated with the payment invoice. So on the business PayPal, they have a platform where you can send the invoices to request money, and that's what we're going to do with the associated fees, so that we're requesting it along with our legality terms of condition contracts that are associated with it, so that the invoice will come via that way. Join late. How much will the amount be? Dev, the amount's going to be, the initial buy-in for this round is going to be 200. And we see that as being a pretty decent buy-in. It's not too much. It's not too little. It's enough to have fun with, but it's not too much that if something catastrophic were to happen, and, you know, like, you know, God forbid, a market crash, you know, not everyone being out of 200, including ourselves, is not going to break the bank and cause people to, you know, lose houses and stuff like that. So we think 200 was the right amount to have fun and also not cause people issues in case the worst happens. Oops. Yes, ma'am. You're on the mic. Ms. Kines?
Yes, I'm sorry. So we'll get to learn and see what's being invested in each month.
Each week.
If we buy in, I'm sorry, yeah, if we buy in, we'll be able to see that. So we'll be able to learn what's, we'll be able to follow what's happening.
Yes,
So we
ma'am.
can, okay.
So example, we start October 1st, right? And then say there was a great opportunity and we went ahead and and I'm just using this as an example, but say we went ahead and we took an Apple trade. And when we take a trade specifically with this account only, we're going to go ahead and post the trade that we got into inside of the group chat. And then, we can also provide, rationale for the trade. It was, here's the chart. It was pinging off of, we saw that it was above its moving average. It's been trending, it has this type of catalyst, and we can provide that so that this isn't just something to be greedy and make money. We also want to provide the substance behind it so that everyone can kind of learn as well as we go. Everyone should be not only learning and growing their portfolio, but also we want to be able to learn and grow that mind as well, using the stock market as an engine.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Ernest, go ahead. Are you able to unmute yourself?
Yes. In that line of thought, I was wondering, like, say we enter the play and say we have to average down or something, how would that be handled?
So that's something that we talked about, me, Shiner, and Lenny, and we thought that we would create a rule in the contract that stated that we weren't able to utilize more than this amount of the pooled funds for one specific trade, so that we're not just putting all of our eggs in one basket, so to say. We don't want to go into go all in on Tesla and say we went in a call and then Tesla just bottoms out and now we're out. We don't want to have that happen. We want to be able to protect capital as much as possible. So we still have to get those out. We have a business meeting after this meeting with the owners, and that's a great question, and we were talking about it. We just don't have the specifics of how much to invest in the pool per trade and what our trailing stop loss or our stop loss should be for exiting a failed trade. But when we get everything sold up inside of the actual document that it will be for review to join the club, that'll be in that document, and we'll push that out inside the group chat as well.
Thanks, appreciate that.
Yeah, good question. I was expecting that question. All right, any more questions? All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us on this town hall and this venture. We're excited to do this. We've been talking about this. Me and the owners of TWR, we've been talking about this for about 6 months or so, trying something like this. We're finally at a point to where we feel confident with our strategy and our consistency to where we can do this. Those of you that follow TWR, that we're one of the most consistent platforms out there. We don't win them all. We're human, so you can't win them all. And on that note, any analyst out there that tells you they got 100% win rate, I want you to tell them they're a liar, because if they're a true trader investor, they're not always getting 100%. It's not possible. They got to have some sort of loss. But consistency, following rules, specific rules, being dedicated to due diligence, and all those things combined into one create consistency over time, which gives you consistency and profitability. So that's what we're about, guys. So thank you for your time. You guys can always contact me, traderswarroom@gmail.com. You can hit me up direct message. I'm very active when you contact me. If you have any questions about this, those of you in the group chat, please, you can drop messages there and I'll make sure I check those. But we're going to start processing these things, get this out. And I got a couple due outs for you guys, specifically the tax question and the question about stop losses and entry levels. And those are things that we're already talking about, and we're going to put them all in a neat legal document, and so that everyone has everything in front of them that they need to know before making an informed decision whether to get into it or not. So thank you guys. That'll conclude. I don't have a gavel or anything, but I'll use these things. That concludes our town hall.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, appreciate you guys.